Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Kate Moss, and the reason being is Kate Moss has just testified in the Depp Vs Heard trial, and she has testified that she was never thrown down the stairs by Kate Moss as implied by Amber on her testimony a little while ago. And I felt quite emotional watching Kate Moss's testimony, not because it was an emotional testimony. She was very composed. She was very elegant. The whole thing was over very quickly. There was no acting, no dramatics. But I felt emotional because this is someone who's quite private and wouldn't have wanted to do this for herself. So she must have done it out of love and respect, and maybe respect for the truth. And I think that's such a lovely thing. And yeah, it did make me quite emotional that she did that to help her ex-partner of over 25 years. So here's the clip.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Moss, or I should say good afternoon your time. My name is Ben Chu from the firm of Brown Rudnick. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Kate Moss.
Ms. Moss, where do you reside?
London, England.
From where are you testifying today, Ms. Moss?
Gloucestershire, England.
Ms. Moss, do you know Johnny Depp?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Mr. Depp?
I had a relationship with him.
Did there come a time when you and Mr. Depp had a romantic relationship?
Yes.
For how long, Ms. Moss, were you and Mr. Depp a romantic couple?
From 1993 to 1994 to 1998.
Ms. Moss, did there come a time when you, while you and Mr. Depp were a couple, that the two of you took a vacation together to the Golden Eye Resort in Jamaica?
Yes.
What, if anything, happened when you were in Jamaica with Mr. Depp?
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did. And there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs and I hurt my back.
How did you...
And
I apologize, Ms. Moss. Please continue.
And I screamed because I was because I didn't know what had happened to me, and I was in pain. And he came running back to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Did Mr. Depp push you in any way down the stairs?
No.
During the course of your relationship, did he ever push you down any stairs?
No, he never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
Ms. Moss, have you ever before today testified in any kind of court proceeding?
No, I have never.
Why did you decide to testify today?
Objection, Your Honor.
All right.
That's beyond the scope of what we just talked about.
All right. I'll sustain the objection. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Moss. We have nothing further at this time. We greatly appreciate your taking the time to testify.
All right. Any cross-examination?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You're free to go. Thank you, Ms. Moss.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I've decided that I would like to scent Kate Moss. So I just did a video the other day scenting my favourite moments from the Depp Heard trial, and then I just wanted to scent Kate Moss following today's testimony. So I've got two perfumes for Kate Moss, and the reason being is I've picked one that I think she would smell like. The way that she brings herself across, her elegance, her composure, her English rose complexion, her clipped posh English accent, all of that put together, I would scent Kate Moss with Kilian's Woman in Gold. So there's Woman in Gold. I think that the bottle is very elegant and beautiful with this extra detailing down the side. But more than that, the smell. This is a rosy perfume. It has a little bit of a sharpness as well. But there's this note in here that always reminds me of marshmallow, but much less sweet. So if you imagine the texture of a marshmallow, now harden it up a little bit so it's chewy, but it's not quite as soft and fluffy, and then take a lot of the sugar out of it. I get that in here mixing with the rose. There's also some citrus notes. There's a agicala wood note. I don't pick that up, generally speaking. If that's in perfumes, I would avoid it because it sounds dodgy to me. There's vanilla in here, but it's not that sweet a perfume. And that's why I've picked it, because actually what Kate Moss wears, or what she has said she wears in an article that I found online, is Eau Dynamiste from Clarins, which is an aromatic, almost men's cologne type fragrance. It's compared on Fragrantica to Eau Sauvage from Dior, the classic citrusy Hedione fragrance. Hedione is it's similar to jasmine molecule that's not as heavy. It's a very light and airy take on a jasmine. It's really pretty actually. So because she wears that, which I would say is quite a unisex choice, there's nothing sweet going on in there. And she also wears Fleurs d'Oranger from Serge Lutens. Now that is a orange blossom, jasmine, tuberose, cumin, sort of spicy scent. I don't recall trying it. I really want to now. It's described as not particularly sweet, and it's got these edgy notes of cumin and spices and things. So I have a feeling she doesn't really do sweet perfumes. So Woman in Gold might be a touch too sweet for her taste, but it perfectly emulates how she looks, her composure, her elegance, her sophistication. I honestly think that Kate Moss should smell like Woman in Gold. However, that's very selfish of me to just worry about what I think she should smell like. So I've also picked one that I think she would really like based on what she already likes. So one other perfume that she wears is by her yoga teacher. So her yoga teacher, I guess she must be yoga teacher to the stars, has her own brand, and there's a perfume which I've forgotten the name, so I will just put it along here somewhere. And it's an all natural perfume with rose. It seems to be the main note is rose. There's a few other things around it. I think there's some Palo Santo, so it might have a little bit of an edge, but ultimately it's all natural. It doesn't sound like there's anything too sweet in there. So I have a feeling that she likes rose and she doesn't like things too sweet. And therefore, I think Kate Moss would really enjoy Tobacco Rose, and it would suit her as well. It's a little more edgy than the Kilian that I've picked. It's much less sweet. Tobacco Rose has a few different roses in it. It's got oak moss, hay, ambergris. I've always described it as a savoury fragrance. It's one of my least sweetest perfumes. It's also one of the most interesting perfumes that I have, because it really does change on the skin and you get different aspects of it throughout the day, and it's a really, really strong, really long lasting. I love this sort of savoury hay note in there. So it kind of feels like it's a slightly woody in the dry down, but more rooty. But this rose is very velvety and sumptuous. So I would probably say that Kate Moss might pick this for a night out. Based on her current selection, they're all kind of light. So I have a feeling that she would like this, but it would be for a night out rather than a daytime for her. She also said 2 or 3 spritzes and I'm done, or words to that effect. So I'm guessing she's not an oversprayer. She likes things to be a little more subtle, which totally makes sense if you look at her general understated presence in the testimony. So on that note, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're enjoying the trial as much as I am. How would you scent Kate Moss? I'd love to know in the comments below. Bye. Oh, fuck this. I'm not feeling this.